that we have our workspace endpoint in our database, we then just need to create the linked service to our Power BI workspace. And that will allow us to actually go through and view all of the reports available to us, as well as pick up any new ones that are created in that workspace. So also from the Manage Hub, you can go to your linked services. We'll go to New, and every Synapse workspace can connect to one Power BI workspace. So we'll go right here to that option. We'll keep the default name. And then from here, you'll have the ability to select the appropriate workspace here. And from there, we'll just create, and that'll create the linked service and connect us. So we've got our workspace. We've created our linked service. As you saw in the last sessions, that talked a bit about our CI/CD capabilities. We're just going to publish all of these changes just to make sure everything is deployed and our linked service is fully created. And while this publishes, we'll now navigate to our Power BI workspace. So this is a fresh Power BI desktop. I just opened it up, and we're going to connect to our Synapse dedicated SQL pool so we can start to load data from it. So we will search for Synapse here. We'll go to Connect. And this would be a great place you could use your, we will first use that workspace, that SQL endpoint we connected to, and then our actual SQL pool name. For here, we're going to be using direct query because this really is what leverages the relationship between Power BI and Azure Synapse the best, because Power BI will directly pass through its queries right onto the SQL pool. So you get to take advantage of all of the performance optimizations in the SQL pool with the creation and management experience of Power BI on top of it. So we'll click OK, and now we'll move into the authentication screen. So if you wanted to, you could use a SQL login that you created here as your login. But you can also use your AAD account. So that's what I'll be using because I already know that I'm the Active Directory admin from here. So I'll log in right from here. And then you'll see that after a couple of seconds, I'll be able to connect, and it will log me in using my Active Directory credentials. So like we said before, there's a lot of pass-through, a lot of integration here. And with just kind of one-click integration, I was able to set that all up. So now you'll see we've got our navigator popping up, and these are all of the taxi tables that we loaded in previously automatically appearing here. So we'll just select a few to load in to our SQL pool. And like I said, because we didn't select import, we instead chose direct query. It's not actually loading any data directly into Power BI, but it's just creating the connections, getting the schema, auto detecting everything so that we can then go and author our reports right from here. So now I've got my fields over here on the right. I can start to build bar charts. I won't say I'm a Power BI Power BI author expert by any means, but let's bring in our date ID, and let's bring in the date off of this. Just for the purpose of demonstration here. But we've got that full experience that's running live directly over our dedicated SQL pool here. So maybe we can check fair amount by date, or we could do it by longitude or latitude. So, but of course, you have the ability to play around here and have a full creation experience right here within our report. So I'll assign it a sensitivity, and then from here I'll go and I'll actually publish this report right here from our workspace. So save it on my computer, save it locally. And then from here, it's going to give me the option to actually select a workspace. And so from here, I'm going to find the one that I selected before, select it, and then actually publish that out to our Synapse environment. So navigating back to our Synapse Studio, we can still, if you ever need to check the information, you can always go back to this link service. You can even delete it and create a new one. But we'll navigate over to our Develop Hub here, because now you can see, and we'll refresh to make sure we're up to date, but you can now see that we have a Power BI little table